Hello, welcome back to Reads of an Apple. My name is Stacy, and I'm here to talk about the books that I would like to read in November. Now, if you have not seen any of my other videos, I am currently part-time staying at my brother's house while I find a place. I have put in an application that seems very promising. I've had good conversations with the gentleman in the office, and so I'm hoping that this will be it and I will finally get my own place, but we will see what happens with that. I'm trying not to be too hopeful about it because he did throw in a couple caveats, which, like, if there's somebody with a housing voucher who's in an emergency situation, they'll get put ahead of me, and there's a couple other types of people who will get put above me in getting this apartment, but I'm hoping I will get it. So I may or may not, hopefully I will be moving in November to my new place, but because it is not officially mine yet, who knows. But I am really hoping. I want to be out of here, and I want my own space back, and I want all my things back. I'm tired of all my stuff being in storage. But anyway, that's beside the fact. So this obviously is going to be loosey-goosey once again. So please bear with me if I end up not reading any of these books, except for a couple. So we will just get into it. I have my list, and so first off, I'm going to go over book club books. So for Rake Appreciation Society, we will be reading Sea of Ruin by Pam Godwin. This is in celebration of the 2-year anniversary of Rake Appreciation Society, of which I joined. I missed the first month, so I joined the second month that they were in creation, and it is one of my favorite book clubs. I never miss a book, and I'm very excited to be celebrating the 2-year anniversary. I am nervous. If you have not heard of this is a dark historical pirate romance. There are definitely a lot of triggers that I know, which, I mean, it's Pam Godwin, so that's kind of to be expected. She writes dark romance. But I'm nervous about this because, and this may or may not be a spoiler, but I know that this ends up being a menage. And that is the main portion of why I have not picked up this book. I do not like why choose. I do not like threesomes, but I don't care what gender you are, just 2 people. But that is all on me. That is because I am very much a possessive person. So I don't want people to share, and I don't want people to share me either. So I struggle a lot with any groups of people that's more than 2. So I am nervous, but I know, and I'm also nervous because this is a really loved book. And I know the hosts both love it. Other bookish friends that I have adore this book as well. So I don't want to read it and not enjoy it like they do, and then feel like I'm out of the party. But it's okay. It's okay. There's a book for everyone. I get nervous when I read a book that's so beloved, and going into it I know it's going to have something that I'm not going to. It's not something that I usually enjoy. Although I will say, if anyone can kind of make me enjoy it, Pam Godwin is probably one of the few authors who can. So there's that. I will also be participating in the Smart Women Read Romance exclusive Patreon review. I have no idea what the book is going to be, what our prompt is. We haven't gotten the prompt yet to put in options to vote on for November. So at some point I will be reading a book for them. And then for the SJM Along, this month we are reading A Court of Frost and Starlight. This is book 3.5 in A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. And this is happening earlier this month. I believe it is on November 12th. So we have less time to read it, but it is a skinny boy. And then December's book is going to be the final book in Throne of Glass. So then we have the rest of November plus most of December to read that, which will be good. But I'm excited to read this and kind of move forward in the series and see what's going to happen. I believe this is kind of a holiday based. I mean, and I'd say this is a novella, and while this is probably a novella for Sarah J. Maas, it's still, I don't even know. Why are there no page numbers? I don't know what this last section is. Oh, it's an exclusive interview. Okay, there's an exclusive interview on the back of this. So the actual story itself is 229 pages. And then this last little bit is a sneak peek for Silver Flames, it looks like. And then an exclusive Q&A of Sarah J. Maas in conversation with Bridget Kemmerer. I have no idea who that is, but I'm excited to read this. Plus, I'm so happy that I found a paperback with the original cover. I just think it's so gorgeous, and I love the like filigree stuff that they put on the outside and the little bit of shine. It's so pretty. Okay, I'm already like rambling on, I feel like. So then we've got other readathons and reading challenges. So it will be the final month for Shelby Taggart's Fall in Love. She hosts this on Instagram. There were 3 bingo boards, and it ran for 3 months, September, October, and November. I have, as of my recording, I have 1 book left to finish the first bingo board, and I have 3 or 4 books already on the second bingo board, so I just need to finish that one out. I don't know if I'll get to finishing the second book, but because I'm filming this slightly earlier in October, I still have quite a few books I need to get through the rest of this month, so hopefully I'll get a good chunk taken out of the second bingo board for that. I'll link her Instagram down below if you're interested, if you read a lot, or if you just want to take a look. I'm assuming that we'll see kind of end of November she'll post the winter stuff, and she usually does 3-month like seasonal based challenges. Then I'm also currently participating in a couple of different reading challenges on the Romance Readers Reading Challenges group on Goodreads. I'll link them down below if you're interested. One of them is their current quarterly challenge, and this is Color Me Romantic. And I forgot to write the dates on my notes, but I don't know what I did with my book here. Okay. So, Color Me Romantic is running from September 15th through December 14th. And for this quarter, the goal, I mean, there's 4 different goals, and you can choose whatever goal you want. But, hi, honey. The highest one is 30 books. And I've got 23 done so far. So I should be able to finish this before December 14th. Most likely I'll probably finish it this month. All of them are color-based prompts. So we have a color, and then there's usually 2, maybe 3 prompts kind of associating with that color. And then I'm working on that, so I'm almost done with that. And then also I am doing my Yahtzee challenge. This is a 13-month challenge where we are playing the game Yahtzee, and you roll your 5 dice, and each goal that you have to do in the game is associated with a different prompt. I usually roll these in my weekly vlogs on the 1st, but I figured I might as well add it to my TBR because technically it's more of a TBR thing. So it might be too late to join. We started in March of 2022, and then the final roll will be in March of 2023. So we're getting there. and I will just kind of keep track here, and I will do my rolls. I picked out 5 pip style D6s. So that's these. I picked them out. They're super fun and pretty. So let me get my pen and we will get to rolling, and then I will tell you what prompt I end up with. I thankfully have not used my chance yet, so we have an extra. They also do have an option that if you are like you end up getting a rule but you have nowhere to put it, there's like a secondary option that's just a random prompt that you can fill, but they don't post those till like the beginning of the month. I need a better place to roll this than under my camera, so we will go here. Okay. Oh wow. Alrighty, so we have 3 6s and a 1 and a 2. So I will get that written down here so I remember. Now I know I have not gotten my Yahtzee yet, and I also have not done my 6s, so that is perfect. So we will set those 3 aside, and we will roll my other 2. So we're gonna re-roll the 1 and the 2. Give me good luck, kitty face. Ooh, 2 2s. Okay, not what I wanted, and we already did the full house. So at the very least, it looks like we can cover the 6s prompt. And, okay, another 2, but a 6. Dang it. And what's sad is the 2 is next to the 6 on the die face. So it was so close. Okay, so 2 and 6. So we will be applying this to 6s. And the prompt for that is a 6-word title or the 6th book in a series. So, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at that. Okay, so Court of Frost and Starlight. So this book is 6 words long, so I will also be applying this to my Yahtzee challenge. So that worked out perfect. I was like, oh my gosh, a 6-word title or 6th book in a series? That might take some digging. So perfect. That is done. And then, let me look at my list here. We have the fan fiction read along. This is hosted by Jenn from the book Refuge, Tiffany, who's Tiff Talk Pages or Neverland Pixie, Rachel from Rachel Reads and Sings, and Mel from Mel Binds Fix. I'm super excited. I have not read fan fiction in a while. Every once in a while, I'll pick up a one-shot if I get a hankering. I used to read a lot of fan fiction, and I used to read a lot of Asian-based fan fiction, so fan fiction based on anime or manga characters. And I also was obsessed, I'm probably still obsessed with Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and so I read a lot of Buffy fanfic. And my favorite anime fanfic, I was so basic, and I love the Sasuke, which is Sakura and Sasuke from Naruto. And I know eventually in the series, I heard they did get together, but I never got that far in the series, watching or reading. But so it was always I wish they would be together, but I guess technically they do end up together eventually in like an epilogue situation, I believe. I didn't look too much into it outside of the fact that they actually did end up getting paired together. And I also loved to read One Piece fan fiction, not all of it romance, because oh my gosh, I loved the reader fan fiction for One Piece, where like you become a member of the Straw Hat crew with Luffy as the captain, and you just go on adventures with them. And some of them were romantic and some of them weren't, but I love One Piece. It has such a special place in my heart. I haven't watched it in a little bit, so I'm probably, at this point, it's less than a year since I last watched it, but I'm probably like 30, 40 episodes behind. I chose my fan fictions first, and then I created my bingo board around that so I could at least get a bingo easily. So here's the one I created. Jenn likes to do create your own bingo board, so definitely check out her Instagram for prompts and all of the information and templates. I chose the 3x3 board. It's a little bit easier than the 4x4 for sure. So I chose the 3-book Supernova, which is a fan fiction that's over 300,000 pages, and it takes up 3 spaces. One shot, Follow the Hosts, No Wizards Allowed, which is not a Harry Potter, OTP, which is One True Pairing, so a favorite couple of yours, Dipping a Toe, which is trying a new fandom, and Broken Screen, which is based off of a TV show. And considering most of the fanfiction I read is based off TV shows, that one was like super easy. So down below in the description box is a Linktree, and in that Linktree is a link to my blog. I will have links to all of these in my blog with the same brief description I'm giving to you. I know it's a little hassly to click on a couple different links, but I feel like because that's already posted there and it's already in a place where everything's kind of organized, that would be better than trying to repost it down below. Plus, the links are a little bit easier to handle the way I deal with them on my blog. So, I have a lot. I have a couple more that I have saved. I decided to go with all fanfictions from Archive of Our Own. I used to mainly read on fanfiction.net, and there was an Asian fanfiction that I used to read, and I didn't really do too much with Archive of Our Own. But what's nice about Archive of Our Own is you can download fiction as EPUBs and then email them to yourself if you have a Kindle. I'm not sure if you have a different kind of e-reader how that works, but you should at least be able to manually add them to your e-reader from that point. I have a couple more saved open on my phone that I haven't downloaded yet and gotten on my Kindle, but these are the ones that I'm hoping to get to. And I kind of focused on shorter ones just so, because I have one really long one, as you will see. These are in no particular order. So Power Over Me, this is by Hufflepuff-ish. This is a Harry Potter one-shot between Helga Hufflepuff and Salazar Slytherin. I am a Hufflepuff, and I love, out of all of the house pairings, I am a simp for the Hufflepuff Slytherin, the Slitherpuff dynamic. Just, it's like the ultimate grumpy sunshine, and I just love it so much. And I am intrigued. I've read a couple one-shots in the past of Helga and Salazar, so I'm intrigued to kind of read some more and see how it goes. And then I also have Green Shoots by Jatania. This is another one-shot between Helga and Salazar. And then I had to put in some Buffy ones that I have not read. I actually logged into my fanfiction account to make sure it wasn't ones that I had saved as read on that one that are on Archive of Our Own. And I'm surprised that they still had my account because it's been forever since I logged in. So I decided to pick up The Footprints Left Behind. This is by Willow9124. And this is my OTP, my favorite pairing. It's Buffy, which is Spike and Buffy. and I am super excited to read this one. I can't remember if it's this one or the next one that I'm going to talk about, but one of them is like them coming back to America after like a full-scale apocalypse has happened or something like that. I didn't read too much into them, just outside of the pairings and how long they were. And then the other Spuffy fan fiction I found is Needs Must. This is by Ellie Rose 101. And this one is a 5-chapter, so this one's a little bit longer. But I feel like sometimes those are a little bit better if you go in like the 5 to 10 chapter range, because you get a little bit more development of the situation. But with it being fan fiction, a one-shot is fine, because if you're going into a fandom that you already know, you don't really need a lot of that world building aspect. And then I couldn't not put a couple Sasu Sasuke's on here. So we've got Sensitive by Sweet Like Salt. This is a 2-chapter Sasu Sake, so Sakura and Sasuke from Naruto fan fiction. And then I found In Times of Peace by Southside Story, and this one's 15 chapters, so a little bit longer. And then for dipping a toe, I decided to try to find a new fandom and read some read fan fiction in a fandom that I already enjoy a lot. And I decided to pick up Long Live the King by Selene Erastus. This is 8 chapters, and this is a fanfic of Betty Groth and Simon. And Simon is the Ice King from Adventure Time. And so this is supposed to, I think, be their happy ending, because they didn't get a happy ending in Adventure Time. So I'm excited. I've never read Adventure Time fanfiction before, and the world is just so unique and colorful. And I know that's a cartoon, and so it's silly, but I'm very excited for it. And then I had to throw in a One Piece one just for fun, so I found Songbird by Worm Food. And this is an ace, so Portgas D ace one-shot based. So I'm excited about this one. I just saw it was ace. And then the big boy. I do hopefully plan on at least starting Manacled by Sen Lin Yu. This is 370,000. This is Hermione, so Draco and Hermione from Harry Potter. I know that this has some content warning issues. I've heard it talked about that the first portion is kind of Handmaid's Tale based, which I have not seen, but I know about because my brother's girlfriend is a big fan of that show. So I'm intrigued to finally start this. I do know that the first 56 chapters are available as audiobook on Spotify. And I have that posted in my blog post as well. And so I might pick it up that way. It's total of 77 chapters. So, but I don't know how long the chapters are. I'm guessing long. It's 370k words. So we will see what happens there. But I would like to at least start it. I know that a lot of people read it when Jenn picked it up earlier this year, and it kind of made the rounds on BookTube and Bookstagram. So we will see. Yeah, we will see. Okay. Now, I usually choose prompts. I have my little, I guess you can't really see it, just barely. Right here is my origami flower pot where I have books or authors for my 3 prompts that I try to choose for my TBR, and they are Continuous Series, A New to Me Author, and Backlist. However, because I'm still in my weird living situation, I tried to pick all books that I had already checked out on KU, or that I can check out on KU, or that I already had purchased in ebook format on my Kindle, to kind of help keep things a little easier to pick up. For Continuous Series, I am bringing back Space Cowgirl. This is the 2nd book in her Space series by Sarah L. Hudson. I've been wanting to read this. This was on my TBR a couple months ago, and I never got to it because I ended up I think that was the month that I moved. So I definitely want to get to this. I'm super excited for it. The heroine in the book is an astronaut, and she's actually in space during the first book. So she's coming home, and I'm excited to see where this goes. The new author prompt, I picked this for a book a couple months ago as well, but then I said I'm going to wait and pick it up until November. I think I picked it in September, and then I was like, oh, I've got all my spooky books kind of coming up, so I'm going to shift it to November. So I'm going to pick up Finding You by Lena Hendricks. Finally, this has been on my TBR. I know that her and Elsie are big supporters of each other, and I saw an interview during one of the Gold Rush Ranch books releases where she did a live show with Lena Hendricks, and they had releases come out around the same time. So I've definitely been wanting to try Lena Hendricks. I follow her on Instagram and I love all her teasers, and I've been really wanting to pick this up. So I'm happy that I'm finally going to get this is the month. Plus, I know Lena Hendricks is an author that Shelby reads a lot, so it should work to cover some of the Shelby-based prompts on her Fall in Love challenge board. And then for a backlist author, in October, I finally got back to Alessa Thorne, and I'm going to be picking up Sharpest Edge. This is the second book in her Magic and Mercenary series. These are dark, paranormal, light paranormal romances. I love Alessa Thorne. It's been a while. It had been a while since I read her, and I don't know why I haven't kept up on my backlist of her, because I was at some point completely caught up. But that's when she just had one series, and now she's got like 4. So I need to catch up on Alessa Thorne. I fly through these. I love them so much. So I do plan on picking up The Sharpest Edge, and this is the newer cover. The one on Goodreads for some reason hasn't updated, but this is the newest cover, which is gorgeous. Plus books 3 and 4 in this series, she says she plans to write early 2023. So I need to get caught up in at least this series. Then for some other kind of random options, I am a fan of the Bookcase in Coffee. And they are food, and they are a book blog. And then they also have the Buzzing About Romance podcast. And for October 24th through the end of the year, they're doing an event called Clear the TBR. And it's just kind of focusing on getting books off of your TBR, or books that you've been meaning to read this entire year. The minimum is it has to be on your TBR for 30 plus days. No ARCs or new releases count for this. And you can enter to win prizes, and you can set your own goal, and it's no big, really, it's whatever you want to do, which I love. So I put my goal as 20 to read 20 books off my TBR through the end of the year, which should be doable for me, but we'll see. I have a lot of crafting and stuff that I really need to get going on for Christmas presents. But they do have quite a few group books. They're doing about one a week. She's just over there making sounds at me. Can I help you? I don't know if you can hear her grunting at me. It's very silly. So they have some for December as well, but I'm just going to touch base on the ones real quick that they have for November, and I'm just going to fly through them here. And of course, my iPad decided to offload my to-do list app for some reason. It keeps offloading them into the cloud, and I'm like, I open this thing so much. Okay, here we go. All right, so for November 2nd, and these discussions are going to be in their Discord group. I hit a button. Okay. November 2nd will be The Rules of Dating by Vi Keeland and Penelope Ward. November 9th will be The Baby Proposition by Kim Lorraine. I got this last week. It was actually free on Amazon. I don't know if it's still free or not, but this is a trope that I'm not usually interested in. It seems like it's supposed to be like they're using each other to get pregnant or something like that. Ink Craving by Carrie Ann Ryan, which when I added this, when I was getting these all on my to-do list, I about had a meltdown. This is book 4, so I probably won't be picking this up because this is book 4 in a series. But this is her Montgomery Ink series in the branch of Fort Collins, which is where I live. And she has some set in like Colorado, like they're all Colorado based. And I'm like, why have I never heard of Carrie Ann Ryan before? And she writes books not only in Colorado, but she tends to kind of stick to northern Colorado, let alone a book series set in the town that I live in. So if I don't manage to pick this up, I have been kind of putting together a list of authors that are in Colorado or write books in Colorado. And so I think I want to put her in that reading vlog. So I probably won't read this one because this is the 4th book in the series and I like to read books in order. Never mind the fact that this is a spinoff of her original Montgomery Ink series and there's like 4 different spinoffs now. But I just had to at least put that out there because I am excited to read these books at some point. And then we have on Friday, so the other ones were on Wednesdays. For the next book, it will be Friday, November 25th, and this one will be Swoon by Lauren Rowe. I know Bree from In Love and Words is obsessed with this book and obsessed with Lauren Rowe, and I've been intrigued to pick her up. I know she does a lot of like rock star romances, so I'm interested to try to pick this one up if I can. This is a lot of books for me, so, and with my moving situation, I probably I don't know what's gonna happen, but I would like to read these. And then the final one for Wednesday on November 30th will be Dating the Duke by Emma Hart. This is the 2nd book in her Love with the Aristocrats? Something aristocrats, not aristocats. Series, and this has been on my TBR since she announced the 1st book, and the 1st book is Love Languages. So potentially 2 more books I'm cramming in there at the end of the month, which is always usually that's the like a lot of my book clubs meet at the end of the month, but with Rake Appreciation being in the middle like normal and the SJM along being earlier in the month, I'll only really have the Smart Women Read Romance one at the end of the month, so I might be able to get more books later in the month, especially with Thanksgiving holiday. I'll have a little bit less work and I'll have a little bit more free time to kind of read and work on things. And then the final thing that I want to kind of touch base really quick over is books that are coming out this month that I would really like to read. But depending on what happens, I don't know how soon I will be able to get to them. So on the 1st, Zoe Draven is kicking off her new series, Brides of the Kylor. And the 1st book is Desire in His Blood. She shared some Pinterest mood board thing for this book, and I have been obsessed. Then the cover came out, and I'm even more obsessed. And then I saw one of her ARC readers put that it's a space vampire with wings, and sign me up. I love Zoe Draven, and this is a sci-fi. And then my other sci-fi queen on November 2nd comes out, Resisting Maxu. This is the 6th book in the Cleclanian series. I do have an arc for this because I'm a member of her Patreon, so I'm hopefully will be getting to it before release, but I don't know. I have a lot of spooky books to cram in before the end of October. And I cannot wait for this. Book 5 came out in like January, so it's been a little while. But I also do have the novella that came out in the Claimed Among the Stars anthology, and that's releasing Maladek. And that came out, I want to say mid to late summer. So I do need to read that one, and I'll probably try to pick up that novella before Resisting Maxu, just in case there's any storyline things I might be missing. Then on November 17th, I believe, is How the Grump Saved Christmas by Claire Kingsley. This is going to be set in Tillicum, Washington, which is the home of the Baileys brothers and eventually her Haven series. And this is going to be a standalone, but they're characters who we met in Rewriting the Stars, which I still have not read yet, but that is on my Clear the TBR list. And then we have on November 29th, Griffin Undone by Ella Sheridan. This is the first book in her Archive Warrior series. I have not read her before, but when I kind of was looking at books that are coming out later in the year, the way that this book was described that I saw somewhere said that these are shifters, but they're shifters of mythological creatures. So this is a Griffin shifter. So I'm very intrigued to see what's in here. That is a lot of books. I know it's a lot. I'm hoping I'll even get to just half of these at this point, but if you have any good books that you're interested in reading in November, pop them down below. Let me know. Or if any of these sound good, let me know if I should be more excited or maybe scoot them up or try to get to them if I can, like put them higher up in my priority. But otherwise, I will see you all very soon. Thank you so much. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff.